think that's one of the satisfying things for the fans, is that we do have strands between episode 3 and episode 4 that I think will be very satisfying for the fans and the audience.
Hello there.
It was interesting, and it was sort of representative of where he's at, you know, in terms of his existence now, out with the Jedi Order, which has been, as we know, destroyed at the end of the Revenge of the Sith. So he's living in a very different sort of time. I think it is a darker time, and personally speaking, he's living without the Force, and he's in hiding. He can't use the Force for fear of being found out. We can see from the trailer that there are Inquisitors, the Grand Inquisitor and the Inquisitors whose job it is to hunt down the last Jedi and to destroy them. So he's living with this hanging over him. And I think the fear of it is driven mainly because he has this responsibility to Luke Skywalker and the promise that he made to Padme to look after him. And so that's his only real link to the past, is that.
Obviously, you know, at this point in the timeline, you know, all the Jedis are in hiding. So it's like he can't go out and be using the Force all the time or be using his saber. So it's an interesting thing to take a character that is, you know, so quintessentially a Jedi, and then you're kind of stripping them down and taking away a lot of the tools that, you know, they're known for, they usually use. So it was kind of a very cool starting point, honestly, to take this character and then have the opportunity to try to build him back up over the course of the series.
I myself actually got in trouble because I was informed that my character is indeed not of the Sith, but of the Inquisitorius, which is a big, big difference. Can I tell you the difference? I would not dare try, not on camera.
Sith, there's the rule of 2, so you know, it's not an open membership on that one. But you know, I think they're all. What's interesting about the Inquisitors is that they're all individuals. You know, they're not a monolithic team or an entity. So they all have a really interesting backstory. And some of those backstories have, you know, they've already delved into, and there's so much more, I think, there to explore. But to me, they all had different reasons why they turned, and they're all very powerful. So it's a collective of individuals, which I think makes the Inquisitors so interesting.
Everyone knows Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. They're like the quintessential archetypal hero and, you know, villain. And so just being around them, seeing them in costume on set, there'd be many times where I'd have to double take and check myself. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening. I can't believe that this is happening. And the closer we get to people seeing it, I think the more surreal that it gets that I had anything to do with what we're about to see.
Yeah, that was the trickiest thing. You know, we're trying to tell a story that's in between 2 trilogies where everybody knows what happened before and after to these characters. So in large part, we're trying to tell the second act for these characters. So, you know, I think we tried to approach it with just as much respect as we could to the canon. And, you know, we definitely felt the responsibility of that. But at the same time, we really did need to tell an original story and tell a new story. But I think one of the most exciting things was within that framework, you know, coming from a character perspective, this is a different point. They're not the exact character that they were at the end of Revenge of the Sith or in A New Hope. So it was really interesting to explore that at this point. I mean, we definitely wanted this show to be character driven. And, you know, first and foremost, the show is called Obi-Wan Kenobi. It is about him. And I think, you know, one of the most important things to us was that we really wanted to have a little bit more depth and spend more time and get to really know him, not only the Jedi, but also the man, and get more into the character. So for me, I think I would probably describe it as, it is a very personal story. It is a very emotional story, but it's definitely set in a fairly epic, sort of mythic environment.
I felt like sometimes Obi-Wan had accepted that the Jedi was finished, like it was over. And at other times I felt, well, he is looking over Luke Skywalker, and he might be doing that because he feels like Luke Skywalker might become a Jedi, and he should be there to help him. And we know, you know, in A New Hope, at the beginning of A New Hope, as soon as Alec Guinness meets Mark Hamill, he immediately starts talking about the Jedi and gets the lightsabers out, and he's so clearly he has hope in him. But at the beginning of our series, I'm not sure that hope is it's probably pretty much buried down. I think that definitely that will be one of the satisfying things about watching it, I think.